Meta stock is flat roughly in pre-market, and I'm not going to lie guys, this is a pretty ugly looking chart in my view. So what's going on? Price was trading in a parallel channel for a while. You had this very powerful long-term parallel channel that price was trading in, and this was providing support for the stock all the way through its run up, resistance as well. Briefly managed to get above, which signaled a local top for Meta. You then broke down, but it was a false breakdown and you were able to get back up into the parallel channel. We've now broken down again from it, tried to retest, but couldn't even quite get there. So the outlook here has to be bearish until proven otherwise. In order to be bullish on the stock again, you would need price to get back into this parallel channel and resume its uptrend. So that's the first thing to note. The second thing that I'm seeing, guys, if we remove this real quick, is a head and shoulders pattern, which is a very common pattern when you're nearing tops on stocks. This is how the smart money often likes to distribute to retail investors and the like. So we can draw a head and shoulders like this. You see we have the left shoulder here, the head, and the right shoulder, and the way that you get a price target for this pattern is you take this down to the neckline and you carry it over here. And that gives us a price target of around $400. Now, would you look at that? There is also a gap down here around $400. So for me, that would be a pretty likely target to have on the stock. Now, it might not happen immediately, but at some point, I imagine you're going to get down to this $405, $400 level on Meta. Is that an absolute worst case scenario? Not at all. I mean, the stock can definitely fall further than an additional 37% here, but this is just something to keep in mind. You've got a very similar pattern on Palantir. So in my view, the tech stocks are probably going to suffer, at least in the short to medium term, before perhaps moving higher. This could be an opportunity for a bounce before you resume an uptrend if you're optimistic. If you're pessimistic, then it may be possible that we're going to go even lower. There's a gap at $220 down here. That's where I would personally target a sort of worst case scenario for Meta, assuming the stock is still a good long-term buy, assuming the leadership is still doing the right stuff. There is a gap down at 152, but gaps don't have to be filled. So if it's a very, very low target, this would be a further, well, from the highs, this would be a total of an 80% down move. Not impossible by any means, and it would be a higher low from the previous low that you set during the 2022 bear market. So it's certainly a possibility, but I wouldn't necessarily be betting on that. I'd be more entering perhaps even at $400 for a bounce opportunity. Otherwise, probably around $220 once that gap has been filled. I think those could be some good entries on Meta. So that's the outlook for the stock for me. Right now, it's a bearish tilt. If we were to go higher, we would need to get back up into the parallel channel that I previously drew, but I don't really see a catalyst for that on the horizon right now. I think you're more likely to be headed lower on the Meta chart. So I hope that's helpful. Make sure to subscribe as always, guys, for more daily chart analysis, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.